Always.
All right. Okay, are we live? All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Uh, just wanted to talk about a few things. ABQ said it's mutant time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Welcome back, everybody in the building. Just wanted to talk about a few crazy stories. Man, people keeping up with these crazy attacks. It's nonstop. It is literally nonstop. It's unbelievable. And it's crazy. You know, the crazy part about it is, like I said a long time ago, if you just Google dog and click images, excuse me, not images, news, you really won't see that many dog attacks. And that is really, that's unbelievable to me. With as many dog attacks that take place, when you just, oh my goodness. Here, let me share my screen here. This one just about takes the cake. Now, those of you who keep up with the news, before I get into these stories, those of you who keep up with the news, you know that it's overboard. Right now, it is overboard. Here, let me share my screen. Right now, it's overboard, and it's pretty crazy. Now, check this out. I just Googled dog, and I clicked news. I want to see what is the news putting out here about dogs. What's newsworthy? That's the main thing. If you Google, for example, let's say Ukraine. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. When you Google Ukraine, you don't hear anything about the best ice cream in the Ukraine. You don't hear about the night sky of Ukraine. You're getting the most important, the most relevant news that has to do with Ukraine. And as you all can see, Russia invades Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war. And people, that's all you see. If you want to know some good eating spots in Ukraine, you're not going to get it if you just Google Ukraine and click news. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Unbelievable stuff. Now, like I said, Google dog, and you're going to get stories like this. Dogs grieve when a friend dies, study finds. Puppy love. New study indicates dogs mourn the death of their companions. Canine companions. Dogs show signs of mourning. This is the news. This is the most important and most relevant news right now in regard to dogs. Can y'all believe that? Is that or is that not incredible? That's incredible. But when you Google dog attack, you are flooded with stories that have taken place recently. It is crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. This page right here, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago. So there is recent stories of attacks that they basically bury. It was only a week ago when that woman at the shelter was killed. And if you page after page, you look at how many pages there are. And the attacks are non-stop, unbelievable. But you have to actually Google dog attack. If not, so basically when people Google dog, they want to keep these attacks away from the public. They publish them, but they don't want them to be at the forefront. Pretty sick stuff. But I digress. I wanted to talk about a couple crazy stories. Now, one of them where the female had her scalp ripped off, that actually took place a while ago. But I guess the footage only surfaced recently. Here, let me share my screen here. Where are we at? Okay. And I saw the actual footage, but I won't show it because most likely I'll get in trouble. So I'll show it, but it'll be blurred out. Yeah, let's deal with that story first. Crazy, crazy story. Now, even though it happened a while ago, I just now found out about it. I don't know how I missed it. Maybe I did catch it. Maybe I reported on it and I can't remember. But when I saw that video of that woman's scalp missing, her scalp missing, wow. Shout out to Wandering Jules in the super chat. Right? Shout out to everybody. Everybody in the building. Let's get into it. How many of y'all heard about this crazy, crazy story? How many of you seen the footage? That's the crazy part about it. Right? Let's check it out.
I'm supposed to be dead right now, not alive, and I'm just thankful.
Now at 5, imagine having to relive a near-death experience. That's what one Brentwood woman says she's been dealing with for the past 2 years. Talmika Bates was a shoplifting suspect and hiding in bushes when a police dog bit her, leaving her with horrific head wounds. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex Savage.
And I'm Julie Hayner.
And you have to understand, anybody who is caught shoplifting, you're not really going to have any mercy by the media or the general public. Even if it was excessive force. You know, they released an attack dog on someone who, mascara, some type of cosmetics is what I do know. Cosmetics. And that makes it even worse. Wait a minute. Yeah. You know, I can understand somebody who steals food. You know, most times person get caught stealing food. You know, somebody will offer to pay for the food for them. We can show mercy. You know, if you tried to steal a loaf of bread. This woman stole some makeup, weave, or fake eyelashes or whatever she stole. I don't know what it was. So even though it was excessive force, the general public is not going to have much mercy. And you can see it all throughout this broadcast.
Bates has now filed a lawsuit
claiming police used excessive force against her. This all comes as new video of what happened is released.
KTVU investigative reporter Evan Cernovsky joining us now live from the newsroom. And Evan, you spoke to Bates today about her recovery and what she says is a fight for justice.
That's right, Alex. Julie, Talmika Bates is still recovering from those wounds she suffered 2 years ago. She said she was left permanently disfigured and wants police held accountable. A warning, some of this video is graphic.
When I go to sleep, I have nightmares sometimes. I'll be thinking about the dog grinding, the teeth grinding.
Talmika Bates said she still experiences headaches,
memory loss, and depression from the wound she suffered in February 2020. She was hiding from police in some bushes in Brentwood when a German Shepherd canine named Marco bit her several times in the head.
It just attacking me. I'm screaming for help. I'm screaming.
Now, notice how they say she was hiding when the police dog bit her in the head. They skipped over. They did not want to actually say that the dog was released. Okay? Just keep that in mind. They made the decision to release an attack dog on a female for shoplifting. Now, in some people's minds, she got what she deserved. I know in some countries, if you get caught stealing, the people in the neighborhood are going to take care of you. You know, they're going to deal with you. It's not just the how much the item costs or anything like that. It's the principle, and it reflects a very poor antisocial character. You don't want people in your community who steals. Like I said, the only exception somewhat is if someone, maybe they, for themselves, maybe they have a family, and they get caught trying to steal food. Other than that, no mercy.
For them to let the dog go.
Oh my God.
Police body-worn camera footage shows the attack and disturbing aftermath. We've blurred Bates's wounds, which show large bloody holes where portions of her scalp were completely removed.
Now, you can almost see this. The actual video, the unedited version is out there. But even with it blurred like this, you clearly see her scalp is missing. You know, looks like a hole in her head. Yes, horrific footage. She's up here crying. Oh my God. Listen, these cops and pretty much the general public, no mercy. No mercy. Even though, most definitely, excessive force. We've seen several videos where police have released their dog just for nothing. Here, not long ago, a cop released an attack dog on an Uber driver just because they were late with their car payments. Isn't that right? How many of you can't believe I forgot to report on that? The Uber driver was working. I believe he was working. Behind on his payments, couple car payments or something like that. Released the dog on him. Y'all got to understand there are a lot of dog nuts who are cops. And they cannot wait for an opportunity to release an attack dog on you. Right? Just think about that before you decide to steal something stupid. You know, look, we all do stupid things. You know, I've stolen when I was very young. Very young, I believe about 18, 19, something like that. But when you get to her age, you know, when you know better, I don't know what I was thinking back then. I was just completely out of my mind. Now that I, you know, reflect back on myself. But when you're old and you're shoplifting, there's no excuse for that. Get a job. If you having trouble getting a job, get a loan. Borrow it from someone. Cut somebody's grass. Shovel someone's walkway. There's no reason to steal cosmetics. There's just no excuse for that.
Completely removed.
Please go to
ambulance. Stand up.
I can't even think straight. My whole brain almost fell out. I'm supposed to be dead right now, not alive, and I'm just thankful.
Things began that day when Bates and 2 others were accused of shoplifting cosmetics from this Ulta Beauty supply shop in Brentwood.
Now, this is a beauty supply store. This looks like a store that sells expensive things. Most beauty supply shops don't look this luxurious. So yeah, she wanted to go up in there and steal her some high quality stuff. Listen, man. I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I mean, look, something this petty. Let's say it was a cheap item, whatever she stole. The general public and the cops, they're not going to have mercy on you. Again, because it's the principle of it all. Thieves are looked down on big time. You don't want to get, and keep in mind, people, all these people out there, the cop, they might release the dogs on you just for stealing. The dumbest thing you could do is steal something, then run over and hide in some bushes. My goodness. Brain dead people all over the place.
Police spotted the getaway vehicle and a chase ensued. Another woman was driving and collided with a police vehicle before the group fled on foot. Bates said she was unarmed and hiding in a bush for around 20 minutes while on the phone with her mom. The dog, she said, came.
Man, this is embarrassing. This is... Okay, so you had 2 females who wanted to steal some cosmetics. Is it that serious? You can't tell me it's that serious. What were you stealing? Eyelashes? Hair wigs? Whatever it wasn't worth it. Even if you didn't get caught, people are going to look down on you. That's gutter behavior. If you're going to get attacked by an attack dog, I mean, like I said, I don't advise people to steal food. But I understand there are a lot of messed up people out here. They want to eat, and they should be able to eat. But at least try to steal something that you absolutely need. Look, you will be better off begging. I see people all the time, I'm sure many of you do in your city, who stand out on the blocks, out in front of grocery stores or wherever on the corner. They have a sign and they are begging for any amount of help. And people all the time will stop, give them $1, give them $5, whatever. You'll be better off doing that than trying to steal out of any store, no matter how luxurious or raggedy it might be.
Came out of nowhere.
I really thought I was going to die. Like, I really didn't think that I was going to be able to tell this story and really explain to nobody of everything. It was just traumatizing, like, it was sad.
I've seen all manner of police abuse.
Wait a minute. Okay, let's let them finish.
This ranks up there at the top of the most disgusting, brutal use of excessive force that I can recall.
Bay Area civil rights attorney Adante Pointer is representing Bates and filed a lawsuit against the Brentwood Police Department this week.
Those officers pursued Miss Bates as if they were looking for a mass murderer. And they wouldn't even be allowed to do what they did to that mass murderer, let alone someone who was wanted for retail theft.
We sent multiple messages to the Brentwood Police Department.
Okay, now I can agree with that. They released an attack dog as if they were looking for a serial killer, somebody who, did something big time. And I think the cops knew that the thieves were on foot. I think they knew that they were on foot and just hiding somewhere. Okay, I can roll with that. But look, you shoot yourself in the foot if you can't reflect on what you did. And I don't think she does. Right? We're almost done. Let's listen to the rest.
And the city attorney's office. They did not reply to our request for comment. Bates said she was taken to jail after doctors sewed her scalp back on. She said her hair still won't grow back.
If I feel ugly, I get miserable, I get depressed. I'm like not happy within myself. Like I don't even feel cute. Like I feel like I'm ugly.
Oh my God, stop. Stop. She totally shot her. If she gets a lawsuit, I'll be surprised. Because what you're supposed to do at this point, you don't completely play a victim like this. What you have to do is say, I understand, I acknowledge, I should not have been shoplifting. I started the whole thing. It was all started. Meaning the police started chasing me. I became a suspect because of what I did. And I knew that I was breaking the law. And I am guilty of that. That is what she should say. And she should include and say, but I feel like I didn't deserve an attack dog sicked on me. Because what the cops did is the same thing as catching this thief and stabbing them. That doesn't sound that reasonable, does it? Somebody steal cosmetic, a woman steals some cosmetics. You a cop, you chase her down and you start to cut her scalp off. Okay, you have an argument there. Okay, excessive force. I get that. But the way you play this, you have to acknowledge your wrongdoing. Your wrongdoing. So this hurts the crusade, man. Stuff like this. We're keeping an eye here. Let's allow this thing to finish.
Bates said she wants that dog taken out of service or retrained, and she wants the police department to hold that officer accountable. Reporting live in the newsroom, Evan Cernovsky, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Okay, Evan.
I mean, look, at least go back to the store where you tried to steal that stuff from and offer to repay them. Have some type of show of remorse. Try to reconcile with the store owner or something like that. On top of recognizing that you were doing something that you knew was wrong, that you shouldn't have been doing. So I'll be surprised if she wins this lawsuit. But this is not good. This is not positive news. We're keeping an eye on these dog attacks. And that does include police officers who, sick dogs on people for little to no reason. But here, she makes it difficult, if not impossible, to defend her. Oh, woe is me, I have nightmares. But if you bought and paid for whatever you tried to steal, You would have just walked out of the store and you still had your scalp. So, depressing story. Very depressing story. Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And let's hope we don't hear too many more stories like this going forward. Right? Shout out to Wandering Jules in the super chat. Shout out to you. Wandering Jules says, people in the comments say she deserved it because she stole and hid in a bush. A lot of good boy comments. Deserve to be charged, not mutilated. No empathy. I bet they claim they're Christians. That's what I'm saying. You have a lot of people who commit crimes. It may not be theft, like in this case. It may be a white collar crime. You know, people steal stuff all the time. But do they deserve to have their scalp ripped off? Yeah? No. No, they absolutely do not. Release an attack dog on a woman. She was not in good shape, physical shape. She couldn't run that fast. You got multiple officers. Y'all could have dealt with her. You could have found her. It sounds like these cops just wanted to get off and say, hey, let's release the dog on her. Yeah, excessive. It's hard to argue that's not excessive force. I mean, that was really deadly force. Be truthful. You know, blow up some woman's brain out for buying a box of mascara? Come on. But all that said, I think she would have done herself a lot of good if she would have acknowledged that the police would have never been chasing me had I not stolen from that store. Say, hey, I went back to the store. I repaid them. I apologized to them. I acknowledged my role, but I feel that the police officers used excessive force. So I thought she played her cards incorrectly in that situation. That video is available online, and brace yourself. That's some horrific injuries, and that was not a bully breed. Those cops, they use German Shepherds. It's not a bully breed. All of these mutts are dangerous, and they can inflict severe damage and death. Okay, now, this is that story about the 4-year-old. Now, I may have talked about this already. I can't quite remember. 4-year-old, but this was uploaded 2 days ago. Let's check it out.
And we're going to start again with live in Baytown, where a 4-year-old boy is dead after being mauled by dogs.
Adam Bennett is live along Massey Tompkins Road near Highway 146. Adam, what a tragedy here.
Ron, it sure is. You know, the Baytown police chief, he described this as the call that every officer dreads having to respond to. In this case, the death of a child. And neighbors here tell us that child is the neighbor of someone who lives in this house, or the nephew.
It just shocked me, you know? It shocked me really, really bad.
Yahir Martinez was working in the neighborhood when his boss heard a woman calling for help.
And he was like, you want me to call 911? And she was like, yeah.
Martinez made that call.
I told him to just like hurry up because the baby was unconscious.
Baytown police say officers found that boy had been attacked by dogs. Neighbors say they were pit bull type dogs. EMS tried to save the boy before he was taken to Baytown Hospital. That's where he later died.
I beat myself up. I was like, damn, bro, like, you could have gotten here more earlier.
Neighbor Yadi.
No, bro. No. Could have gotten here more earlier. Man. Nobody questions the presence of dogs. Nobody has discussion like, man, you know what? This is disturbing. Nobody says that. This is disturbing. And you know what? Maybe dogs should be banned. Maybe pit bulls should be banned. Here it was a pit bull type dog. Now, everybody knows that pit bulls have been banned and are banned right now in many parts of the world. But do you notice how nobody even talks about that? Putting a ban on at least pit bulls? The first time we heard it was from that nurse, I think on the most recent live stream. People dare not question the presence of dogs. And as always, they're talking about it as if the boy had a heart attack. As if it was some natural occurrence. No, it was orchestrated by the adults. They went out, saw a deadly creature, knew that it was deadly, knew that it could attack someone or someone's child, and took the chance anyway. Played Russian roulette. This was orchestrated by the adults. The adults whose job it is to protect the youth. They're flooding communities with creatures that specialize in attacking the youth and trying to pretend like these creatures are the best friends of kids. They just happen to be the only creatures on the planet that regularly attacks kids. And people still never dare not question the presence of dogs. Unbelievable stuff. Now, had this been a toy or anything like that, that's all they'd be talking about. Those toys that have to be banned. We cleared the shelf of all of those toys. There's been a massive recall on these toys. They dare not do that with dogs. Unbelievable stuff.
Found that boy had been attacked by dogs. Neighbors say they were pit bull type dogs. EMS tried to save the boy before he was taken to Baytown Hospital. That's where he later died.
I beat myself up. I was like, damn, bro, like, you could have gotten here more earlier.
Neighbor Yadi Rodriguez says she talked to the owner of the house afterwards.
She was heartbroken. She was crying. Like, she couldn't believe it. I was with her on the phone, and all I heard was her voice breaking because she couldn't believe it.
Oh, man. Now, look. Do some of these people really, really, truly, genuinely believe that a dog will never attack? I mean, under no circumstances. Are there a bunch of people out here in the world that are really that dense? I understand the Dalmatians, the Scooby-Doo, all of the cartoons. I understand how dogs are projected in the media and entertainment. I get that. But we all still know that dogs can attack. But are there people out here who are truly surprised? She can't believe it? I can't believe that you can't believe it. I just don't buy that. Of course you can believe it. You knew it was possible. Don't try to play dumb here. These people are guilty. And I believe statements like that, they're trying to avoid being prosecuted. Now, I don't think anyone was charged in this case. Right? Let's continue.
She was like, I can't believe my own dog did that. And they've had him for a while.
Rodriguez says those dogs have always been friendly to her. Neighbors tell us animal control officers.
Well, here you go. This is the case every single time. You have a dog with no prior history. A dog that has not shown aggression in its life. Out of the blue, snaps and attack. You don't hear about adults doing this, humans doing this. You just don't. It's always one animal, or excuse me, my bad. I called this thing an animal. I slipped up, I called it an animal. But I'm trying to emphasize that it's one creature. It's not random different types of animals. Just dogs. And we still don't even have discussion about banning not even bully breeds. Insanity, man. Insanity.
Took 2 adult dogs and 2 puppies.
Just came back from the police department. They, of course, need to say they put the dogs down.
And police told us this afternoon that someone who lived inside that home did try to intervene and was injured but was treated during this case. Now, neighbors also tell us they gave surveillance video to police. Detectives are still investigating. At this point, no charges have been announced.
There it is. That's what I got a problem with. No charges. You know, if you want to, I've talked about this before. A lot of these people, I think, get insurance on their kids, life insurance, and orchestrate some of these deaths. Lock the baby in the room with the dog. Leave the baby or child alone with the dog. Then we're going to let this happen. We're going to let this dog attack our baby, attack our kid. Then we're going to start a GoFundMe. Cry crocodile tears. Set the goal at $50,000 or whatever. Now, in the minds of a lot of people, $50,000 is like a fortune in the mind of a lot of people. It's like a fortune. And really, it's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, $50,000 in the bank, I still feel broke. But these people will be willing. Some of these people, I truly believe that. Some of these people are willing to do stuff like that. And I believe some of them, they have done things like this. But there's no way they can convince me that they are totally oblivious to the danger that they orchestrate, bringing these mutants into the community. All right, let's continue.
See somebody coming out of this home. We attempted to talk to them. They did not want to talk and said the family understandably did not want to talk at this point. Just a tragedy all the way around here in Baytown.
Yes, yeah, just a tragedy. It's like lightning struck. Man, it was just a tornado. Oh, just a sad situation. That's how they projecting it, people. They projecting these dog attacks like it's just a freak tornado. Oh, they just happen to be in the path of an F5 tornado. This is so sad. Nothing we can do about it. They're talking in that same tone. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do to stop this. It's just part of nature. Something we all have to accept and deal with. That infuriates me. Man, that infuriates me to no end. Because it's a Twilight Zone type of brain deadness. I refuse to co-sign with that, man. As soon as I became hip to the frequency of dog attacks, I was never the same. I've been pushing for them to be banned from that point. Utter madness. Now, I believe this is an article of that same situation. Let me share my screen here. If I'm not mistaken, they said that a part of his face was missing. Okay. Now, I think this is the same story. I'm not quite sure. Being a baby and having Pampers on, it was jaw-dropping, Martinez continued. I guess part of his face was missing. That's what really got me. Resident of the home reportedly, the child's aunt, was also injured in the attack. Neighbors said that the fight broke out between a pack of pit bulls who are otherwise known to be friendly dogs. Okay. Martinez added that the neighbors in the Baytown neighborhood had the dogs for a while. He said, quote, "They've had them for a while. Those dogs were not new." Look at what she said here. Look at what she said here. And where do you think she got this from? Where do you think she got this narrative from? She said, I don't know if maybe the little kid provoked them or something. It's still sad. Why would she even think that? Why would that even cross her mind? To think that maybe the boy provoked the dogs. It is because of the rhetoric that goes around during National Pit Bull Victim Awareness and Prevention. You have all these dog organizations and these dog nuts, behaviorists, veterinarians who come out, who are dog nuts. They will come out and talk about how to prevent dog attacks on kids. And what they do, they start going over kids' behavior. Well, kids don't know how to behave. You know, well, kids are impulsive just like dogs, and they do things that startle or offend or scare the dog. The dog feels, they do something to make the dog feel threatened. You notice they don't even deal with predatory aggression. When dogs attack and chase anything that moves fast, they don't even deal with that. They don't even talk about it. I'm talking about these behaviorists and these veterinarians. They don't even deal with that. The only thing they want to deal with is misbehavior on the part of the kid. That's it. And that is where this female, I believe, got that whole narrative. For her to sit up there and say something like this, to make an assumption like this, you don't even put nothing like this out there. She did. I don't know, maybe if the little kid provoked them or something, this sounds like a pit nutter. A pit nutter right here trying to defend the breed like they always do. Satanic cult of sacrifice requires sacrifice. It demands the blood of kids and babies. Animal control arrived at the scene and took away 2 adult dogs and 2 puppies. No charges so far have been filed. Child's identity has not yet been released. Stories developing. Okay, I think that's the same case. Sad situation. It's terrible how these stories unfold. It just makes no sense how they've gotten away with being so irresponsible for so long. And I'm putting it lightly, irresponsible for being suicidal for so long. And then the dumb, brainless reaction to each attack. It's unbelievable stuff. And like I said, left and right, you do a Google, you'll find all kinds of stories. I mean, right now that took place, you know, in the past few days. And this was another one. I can't even remember what I saved this for. Y'all know that senator, that woman, this is a terrible, terrible woman. Terrible woman. I've been doing a little research on this bill going down there in Florida. Was it Dale County or whatever? The SB 614 bill. And this senator, I told y'all, no matter how educated you are, man, if you support dogs in society, how many times have I said that? No matter how educated you are, you support dogs in our society, you're going to sound like a flipping lunatic. A straight up lunatic. And she gave us another example. She actually had the gall to say, quote, there isn't any evidence that there is a particular breed that is dangerous. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. All you have to do is Google her name. Right? I think it's Ileana Garcia. You Google Senator Ileana Garcia dog, you're going to find this. Unbelievable. Can y'all believe she said that? Who says something like, okay, where'd you get that information? Who made that information public? That there's no evidence that bully breeds are dangerous. Or let's say more dangerous than other dogs. We have to start checking these people because they're so comfortable and arrogant at this point. They can just feel like they can just say anything and it's supposed to stick. And don't have to support what they say with any information, no statistics, nothing. I don't care. Don't let them intimidate you. You know, she a senator. She probably feel like she got, oh, I got clout. I can just make statements like this. I'm a dog mom. There isn't any scientific evidence that there is a particular breed that is dangerous. Woman, there is endless reports from doctors, the people responsible for tending the wound, the injuries, who are qualified to inform you of not only how often dog attacks happen, but what percentage of the victims were attacked by bully breeds. On top of that, they can inform you whether or not a particular breed inflicts more damage on average. Pit bulls are in a league of their own. There's ample evidence that a particular breed is more dangerous, far more dangerous than the typical dog. What are you talking about? Where? I'm about to put her name in a hashtag in this video right now. In this video right now. So bear with me. I got to make sure I spell her name right and all that. I want anybody, can y'all hear me? Okay. I want anybody who looks up this woman to see this stupid comment. I gotta do it. My goodness. Okay. Let me share my screen as I do this. I gotta do this. I think I can share my screen here. Bear with me. You can't get away with stuff like this. You cannot make statements. Especially her being a senator. You can't say stuff like that. The general public, we're going to hold you to a higher standard. You understand? Okay? Now, let me include her in this hashtag. No. You're not going to get away with that. Right? Pardon me. As I go on a brief tangent here. Go back to the PowerPoint. Man, I was so heated, so upset when I read that. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, what does she mean by scientific evidence? My question is, what scientific evidence did you see that showed that there is no evidence? What information are you looking at? If you were looking at actual cases, you would see ample evidence. What are you talking about? She don't know what she's talking about. Because those brainless dog nuts, they get important positions like this. And they never educate themselves on the facts. They just don't. You know, there's a troll going around on my channel saying, or they're telling me that I'm not an expert. Got some other troll who, you know, leaving comments saying that I'm not a historian, I'm not an expert. And I want people to don't be intimidated by people who try to tell you that you're no expert, when they're trying to tell you that you're not an expert on something that you research every day. Anything that you've researched and that you keep up with, you're an expert. That's the very definition of being an expert. You don't need a title given to you by a university somewhere. And this woman is clearly not an expert. But I bet you anything they're going to lift that pit bull ban in Florida. And from what I've been told from people in the comment section, people from Florida, from that county, they said there are bully breeds all over the place there anyways, because nobody pays attention to that law. They just simply will label the bully breed a lab mix or some other type of mix. These people are determined to spill blood, put everybody's life at risk. These are lunatics. Protect yourself. Stay armed. Stay ready at all times. Now, I'm going to be very busy this weekend. I'm going to make a few videos, make a few in the members area. A lot of things I want to talk about. Big shout out to everybody who gives me suggestions and recommendations for videos. I'm going to follow suit. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Flower Power. Flower Power, yeah, in the chat room now. Big shout out to you, who suggested to make a video about those stupid dog memes, those dog quote memes. Now, I did something like that before, but I'm going to do another one. Because there are a lot of them. And they need somebody to refute them. I also saw that she was talking to a chef, said, you know, either you can do it or I can do it. Listen, everybody do one if you can. You know, this is not about seeing who can beat who to a certain topic or a certain type of video. This is about everybody doing the same thing. You know, even if, I don't care if every anti-dog platform made a video debunking or refuting these dog quotes, the more the better. The more the better. That's exactly what we need. Multiple outlets covering things. Okay? Then I'm going to talk about that because I did a Google search because it was a good idea. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Because I read a lot of those stupid mutt memes, refuted them, debunked a few of them, but I need to focus on them. Make a whole stream about it because they're so brainless. Those quotes are so brainless, it's infuriating. So I'm going to deal with that on another live stream, and I hope you all are able to join me, right? Big shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this live stream. And stay safe, stay clean, stay dog free. And I will see you on the next as we continue with this crusade.